Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be going over the aftermath of the Rift Mountaintop update, including some new items that you can get your hands on to buff minions, and many more changes. Without any further ado, let's launch right into this. Starting off, I want to go over a few Rift related items, and the first on my list is this upgrade to the Stake. This is actually pretty easy to make. You just need a few crux motions and the original Stake and you get this upgraded variant. Its new ability allows you to get a buff every time you vanquish a vampire, making your next hit deal double damage, and your next vampire kill reward 1.5x combat XP. This is very significant for summoning the Vampire Slayer boss, and I highly recommend it if you're someone who does that boss frequently. The crux motions, by the way, are incredibly easy to make. You just need a few cruxes. You don't need any of the new cruxes, by the way, at the top of the mountaintop, so don't worry about that. And you also don't need any fragments of any sort. There are a few items from the Sun Gecko Essence shop that I do want to go over, which, by the way, if you don't know where this is, it's right at the entrance to the mountaintop. By completing this boss on pretty much any difficulty you want, you'll get some amount of essence, and the more modifiers you have, the more essence you'll get. There are a few things here, though, that are really useful. Most notably, starting from the right, we have the Super Leech modifier, which you can combine with the aspect of the Leech to get the maxed out variant, which allows you to teleport 5 blocks ahead of you. Considering that now we have about 200 mana in the Rift, this means that we can teleport 4 times, which is really nice for going back and forth. There also is a few other items here that are useful. Notably, there's a new emblem you can unlock for 100 Gecko Essence. You can get this, the Grandma's Knitting Needle, for 50. This you can take outside of the Rift and you can put on your Grandma Wolf pet. It grants you plus 5% magic find when getting a combo of 50 or more, which is really cool. There's also these extremely real shurikens. You can throw them at enemies to tag them, and once again you get 5% magic find whenever you kill that tagged enemy. These are also Rift transferable, so keep that in mind. You can take these outside of the Rift, and you can even sell them on the bazaar if you want. There's also the Blessing of Time here, which I highly recommend you pick up. It's just free stats. I think it goes up to 100 total essence once you get that tier 3, but that's about it, so yeah. You can also get the Enigma Soul here. I think this one's just 25 essence, so it's not too bad. And the last item here is just an accessory to make doing this boss a little bit easier. I've got to say, though, if you want to do this boss relatively easy, just do this, pretty much. These modifiers are not too bad to do. These are relatively simple. You won't be taking a lot of heart damage. Just make sure you bring in your melon or your holy ice. If you're not going to be using culmination, the melon will actually work, so make sure you do that if you want to. But even with culmination, without brand new dance, I don't think the boss is too bad. Next up, heading up the side of the mountain nearby this purple and pink circus tent, we can speak to Ubik von Neumann, and we can see that he has a certain item that we can potentially get. Basically how this works is that every 5 days or so, the closest 10% of participants to half of the average, which is a number that you choose, will get 1 free will. Every player has to choose a number between 1 and 100, so for example, if the average is 50, half of the average is 25. If you set your number to be 25, that means you get 1 free will. If that were the case though, and if the number is 4 times higher than the average, they will get 2 free wills. In the example I set up, 50 would make it so that the number would need to be like 200 or something, so that would be impossible. But if the average were like 18 or something, then if you're picking a number that's very high, you will definitely earn 2 free wills. Free will is this item right here. You can give this to a minion, and it will give them the illusion of free will. They will be met with the most important choice of their minion life. They will either stay and become loyal, granting 10% minion speed forever, or leave you forever and then send you a postcard. And the loyalty chance is 50% at minion tier 1, plus 4% per minion tier. So if you have a tier 2 minion, that's a 54% chance. At tier 3, it's 58, and so on and so forth. Not only is the free will item incredibly important if you want to upgrade your minions and just give them a nice boost, but losing is actually fine in this case. Go over to the auction house and I look up postcard, you'll be able to notice that its ability is pretty interesting. When placed on your island, it will inspire your minions with the belief that they too might one day be given the choice to leave if they work hard enough. All minions on your island will work 5% faster. This item is incredibly strong, and you get it by losing that free will roll. So I highly recommend, if you have won your free will roll, to either try it out on a high level minion to keep it and get a bonus there, or try it out on a low-level minion, and you can see it leave. I'll actually display to you both of those options right now, so feel free to enjoy the watch. He's looking around.
Okay.
To think I could leave all this behind and find a new path.
Do it.
It's tempting to explore the unknown, to see what life holds beyond these tasks, but this place, these routines, they're a part of me. Deciding isn't simple, and I wonder if I'm ready for what comes with such freedom. I've thought long and hard, and it's clear to me now. My life is here with you on this island. There's a strange comfort in the familiar, and I want to be the best minion I can be. Let's get back to work, and let's make it grand. Look at him go. He's looking around. I like that they look at their arms and stuff. They're like, what is going on? This choice you've given me is more than just a chance to stay or go. It's a question of purpose. What else is out there for someone like me? Could there be more to life than endless cycles of work? Is he gonna leave? But then this is the only home I've ever known. Tough decision indeed.
He's gonna stay.
Psych, I'm out. Who knew all I needed was a little freedom to hit the road? Pack up my sword, I'm going places. Maybe I'll send you a postcard, if I remember.
I hope he doesn't send.
Ah, there he goes, see ya!
Off.
Oh wow, and all their stuff too, they leave without their stuff.
That makes sense.
Aw, I'm gonna miss him. He was my least favorite though, I'm gonna be honest. Now personally, aside from those items being extremely cool, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just saying, Theo joined the admin team kinda recently, and all of a sudden we're getting items that allow you to boost minions a little bit further. Now I'm not saying he's responsible, but I'm saying that he's probably responsible, maybe, or just I'm totally wrong and it's just a funny coincidence. Anyway, back to the video. From my understanding so far, by the way, whenever your minion leaves, you will get the postcard 24 hours after the minion leaves. I have not gotten mine yet, despite my minion leaving, but it's only been a few hours since it left, so I imagine it'll take a day or two. Next up, before you click off this video, I know we're looking at the cosmetic shop, but like, come on, Taylor's collection is around, this is a new thing. Basically how this works is that these cosmetics will always be available for you, and some of these are fire, man. I mean, look at this knight skin. This is for the Diamond Necron head. I think these skins look really cool. There's a couple, like, ultimate quality ones, I think, for the Ender Dragon and Golden Dragon, and I imagine we'll get more with every major update. I also think some of these are just kind of hilarious, like the Barbecue Pigman skin. Just something interesting if you wanted to, you know, get any of these skins. You'll also be able to purchase them on the auction house if you want them. They'll be around forever, so I imagine the price will go down over time on these. But if you're interested in picking any up, make sure to use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. Without any further ado though, let's get back to the video. Next up, we have an item that's definitely been on everyone's mind recently, and that is the Enchanted Clock. I've seen a lot of videos of this dropping pretty much everywhere, and basically it's an item that allows you to advance time by 1 hour, usable every 48 hours, and it impacts your minions, your chocolate factory, your aging items, cat, fan, and the forge. The crafting recipe for it overall isn't too bad. I imagine it'll be fairly cheap in the future. You just need some enchanted redstone blocks and a bunch of enchanted gold, as well as a ton of highlight. Highlight you can get in the Rift by just combining a bunch of the different versions of Timite together, the Youngite, the regular Timite, and the Obsolite. Once again, this won't be too bad in the future, but for now it'll certainly be expensive. I think this item's really cool. It seems to have individual timers for the different items, so like if you use it on your minions first, it doesn't mean you can't then use it on your chocolate factory and so on and so forth, but they will all have individual 48-hour cooldowns, so keep that in mind. For the last thing on our list, we have Discrite, which is another new Rift item. It allows you to be basically boosted in terms of your health regen and Rift time for 60 minutes. You need to keep it in your inventory. It's an aging item, so you can put it in that new time pocket that you can utilize. The time pocket, by the way, is a new bag right here. Basically, this is pretty cool. I think that the Rift time is not the strongest thing in the world, but the health regen definitely is pretty strong. And in order to craft it, you need a lot of Timite, as you can see here. 256 Obsolite, 256 Timite, and 64 Youngite. I don't actually know what this item evolves into. I imagine that its evolution is just a stronger version of it, or something that's consumable of some sort, but regardless, it is a pretty cool item, and I'm certain you'll be able to find what this evolves into down below. Generally, the Rift Mountaintop update was definitely a very fun experience, and many of the new items are pretty powerful as well. I'll have a full thoughts video out over the next few days, as well as some additional guide content related to the Enigma Souls whenever I end up completing it. I would love to hear your thoughts on the update down below. Feel free to leave a comment. At the end of the day though, my name's Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future fellas, because I will see you then.